I'm Juliette, a 27-year-old woman living in the heart of Paris. My life here is a tapestry of daily routines, cultural experiences, friendships, and, of course, a little bit of drama. I've lived in this city since I was 18 when I moved here to study art history at the Sorbonne. Now I work as a curator at a small but prestigious art gallery in the Marais district, a job that fuels my passion for both art and history. I wake up every morning at 6:30 a.m. when the first rays of sunlight filter through my bedroom window, which overlooks a charming cobblestone street. The air smells of fresh croissants from the bakery downstairs, and the distant hum of morning traffic is just beginning. My morning starts with a deep stretch, followed by a quick glance at my phone to check messages and emails. But I resist the urge to dive into work right away. I've learned that the day flows better when I take a moment to center myself. First, I head to the bathroom to begin my morning skincare routine. I splash my face with cold water to wake up fully, then I use a gentle cleanser, followed by a hydrating toner. My favorite morning serum is a vitamin C serum that leaves my skin glowing, and I always finish with a light moisturizer and sunscreen, even when it's cloudy. French women are big on skincare, and I've adopted that philosophy wholeheartedly. After skincare, it's time for breakfast. I usually keep it simple: a slice of toasted baguette with butter and homemade apricot jam, and a bowl of yogurt with honey and granola. I always make a pot of coffee, strong and dark, which I enjoy slowly while reading a book or browsing through the morning news. My favorite books are usually French classics or historical novels. Something about diving into another time or place feels like a perfect start to the day. Once breakfast is done, I get dressed. My style is typically Parisian, understated yet chic. Today, I choose a simple navy dress with a cinched waist, paired with a beige trench coat and black ankle boots. I always wear a delicate gold necklace that belonged to my grandmother, a piece that makes me feel connected to my family. My makeup routine is minimal, just a touch of concealer, a swipe of mascara, and my favorite red lipstick, which adds a pop of color to my look. The lipstick is my favorite part. It's a shade of red that makes me feel confident and ready to take on the world. I leave my apartment around 8 a.m. The streets of Paris are alive with the bustle of people heading to work, cafes serving their first customers, and the smell of fresh bread wafting through the air. I walk to the gallery, which takes about 20 minutes, crossing the Seine and passing by some of my favorite landmarks, like Notre Dame and the Louvre. It's a walk that never gets old. The beauty of this city always takes my breath away. At work, my day is filled with meetings, planning exhibitions, and sometimes even working with artists directly. The gallery is small but highly respected, known for showcasing both contemporary and classic art. I love the challenge of curating exhibitions that tell a story, that provoke thought and evoke emotion. It's not just about displaying art, it's about creating an experience for the visitors. Lunch is usually something light and fresh: a salad with goat cheese and walnuts, or a baguette sandwich with ham, cheese, and butter. Sometimes I treat myself to a pastry from a nearby patisserie, because why not? After lunch, I often meet with colleagues or friends at a cafe for an espresso, taking a moment to catch up on life and share a few laughs. The social aspect of life in Paris is something I treasure. There's always time for a coffee and a conversation. Evenings are my favorite time of day. I usually head home around 6 p.m. unless there's a special event at the gallery. Back in my apartment, I change into something more comfortable, usually a soft sweater and leggings, and start preparing dinner. I love cooking. It's a way to unwind after a long day. Tonight, I'm making ratatouille, a classic Provençal dish made with eggplant, zucchini, tomatoes, and bell peppers, all simmered in olive oil and herbs. I pair it with a glass of red wine, usually something from Bordeaux or Burgundy. After dinner, I might watch a French film or read a book. I also make time for my night skincare routine, which is a bit more indulgent than the morning one. I start with a cleansing oil to remove makeup, followed by a gentle exfoliant and a rich night cream. Once a week, I use a face mask. My favorite is a hydrating sheet mask that leaves my skin feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. Sometimes I meet up with friends for a late-night drink at a nearby bar. We talk about everything, our lives, our work, and sometimes the little jealousies and dramas that come with living in a city like Paris. There's one woman in particular, Camille, who always seems to have a bit of an edge with me. She's a colleague at another gallery, and while we're friendly, I can tell there's some competition between us. It's subtle, of course, just little comments here and there, but I've learned to brush it off. I focus on my own path, knowing that everyone has their own journey. My weekends are a blend of relaxation and exploration. I love visiting museums, especially smaller ones that are off the beaten path. I also enjoy walking through different neighborhoods, discovering new cafes, boutiques, and parks. My favorite time to explore is early in the morning when the city is still waking up and there's a certain tranquility in the air. Paris has a rhythm, a way of life that's both fast-paced and leisurely at the same time. It's a city of contrasts, where history meets modernity, where tradition blends with innovation. Living here has shaped me in ways I never imagined. I've learned to appreciate the little things, the taste of a perfectly brewed coffee, the feel of a good book in my hands, the sight of the Eiffel Tower sparkling at night. At 27, I'm still discovering new things about myself and this city every day. I'm proud of the life I've built here, the career, the friendships, the small rituals that make up my day. And while there are challenges like dealing with jealousy or the occasional loneliness, I wouldn't trade this experience for anything. As I look toward the future, my life in Paris continues to evolve in ways that both excite and challenge me. Now that I'm in my late 20s, I'm more certain of what I want and what I don't want out of life. One thing I've become increasingly sure of is that marriage isn't for me. It's not that I'm against love or relationships, but I've seen too many people, friends, colleagues, even my parents, lose themselves in the idea of marriage, sacrificing their dreams and individuality in the process. I've had a few significant relationships in my life, but each one has reinforced my belief that marriage would feel like a cage, not a partnership. There's a certain freedom in living life on your own terms, in not having to compromise your ambitions or lifestyle for the sake of someone else. The men in my life have been wonderful in many ways, but they've also shown me the limitations that come with traditional expectations of relationships. For instance, my last boyfriend, Lucas, was charming, intelligent, and loved me deeply, but he wanted a life that was more settled. He dreamed of a house in the suburbs, children, and a routine that felt suffocating to me. I, on the other hand, dream of traveling the world, diving deeper into my career, and continuing to grow as an individual. The idea of tying myself down to a conventional life scares me more than the prospect of being alone. I want to be able to pick up and move to another country if an opportunity arises, or spend months at a time immersing myself in a new culture. I want to wake up every day knowing